It's time now for our daily review of the papers here in France with Florence Villeminot, and we're starting out with something a little bit different. Libération focuses on the Chinese community in and around Paris. Last month, a Chinese man died after being violently mugged, and that sparked concern within the community.
That's right, Thomas. Libération talks about the blues of the Chinese community in Paris and around Paris. Now, the three suspects who allegedly mugged this 49-year-old Chinese man named Zhang Chaolin were put in prison this week. So that's why this is the news that's around this story. But Libération reports that despite the fact that these men were put in jail, the Chinese community is not reassured. It's actually demanding protection from the police because a lot of Chinese residents believe this attack and other attacks were actually racist. They were motivated by racist ideas.
And members of the Chinese communities feel they are increasingly targeted just because they are Chinese.
That's right. And Libération, if we take a look further inside, has a very interesting photo report from traditional Chinese neighborhoods in and around Paris. You have Aubervilliers, La Courneuve, Belleville here in Paris. Now, authorities there say that some thieves deliberately target the Chinese community and the Asian community more broadly because it's believed that they carry a lot of cash around with them. And also it's believed that they don't go and report these robberies to the police when they're mugged. And so essentially they're seen as being easy targets. And Libé reports that, just about every Asian family has at least one or two or three even stories of violent muggings in their families. And in Belleville, for instance, thousands of people took to the streets in 2010 and in 2011 following a wave of muggings in that neighborhood. And in reaction to that, a special police brigade was put in place to patrol the neighborhood. But despite little efforts like this, a lot of people in the community don't feel like they're getting enough support from authorities. And Libé reports that anger is really rising within the community.
Okay, let's move on to Le Figaro, and it's got its hands on a confidential document from the Ministry of the Interior, and that's on clandestine immigration.
That's right. According to this confidential document that you can get more details of inside Le Figaro, the number of deportations of clandestine immigrants is down. Not only is it down, it's in a free fall, according to Le Figaro. It's dropped 20% in the last 6 months. And why the drop? Well, essentially, given the state of emergency, authorities are stretched thin, and kicking illegal immigrants out isn't really the top priority given the terrorist threat. Now, according to Le Figaro, this is a big mistake. If we take a look at their editorial today, they say that, the pressure on the French border is getting bigger and bigger. More and more people are coming into France. You can see their headline here in their editorial. They're talking about the migration ticking time bomb. President Hollande's laissez-faire strategy is no longer tolerable, according to Le Figaro.
Well, Le Figaro's scoop comes as the Interior Minister Bernard Cazeneuve is heading to Calais, outlining the government plans to dismantle that jungle migrant camp.
That's right. And he actually gave an interview to a local paper there. It's called the Nord Littoral, where he outlines this plan. He says the government is determined to dismantle the camp step by step. Now, first of all, extra police troops will be deployed to monitor the camp. And then further down the line, some 8,000 accommodation spaces will be created across France. Now, he also said that François Hollande, the president, is going to visit Calais, and that will be a first for the president.
A word on politics now, and the opposition Les Républicains party is struggling to show unity ahead of its annual conference this weekend.
That's right. Saturday and Sunday, Les Républicains are meeting in La Baule for what's known as the Université d'été. It's not a university and it doesn't really take place in the summer. It's actually a party conference that takes place every year. Now, usually this is a moment when the party shows unity, but the party is anything but united right now because everyone wants to be president. They're all running against each other, competing ahead of the primary in November. You can see the three front runners here, Alain Juppé, Nicolas Sarkozy, and François Fillon. They spent last weekend tackling each other, and now they're going to have to smile for the cameras. So it could get a little awkward. You can see Aujourd'hui en France saying that the party wants to avoid an OK Corral situation, which is essentially, that's a reference to a Western where there was a massive shootout. So that's what they want to avoid at the party conference. Now, La Croix pokes fun at the situation in a cartoon today. Yesterday was back to school day here in France, La Rentrée des Classes. You can see this teacher saying, we're now going to elect the class rep. And you can see every single student there saying, I want to be in the primary. So that's what Les Républicains is like, according to La Croix.
Okay, Florence, thank you very much for that spin through the French press this hour. Taking a very quick break now, but don't go anywhere. I'm back with another 30 minutes of world news and analysis after this. Do stay tuned.